see you. What can I do for you today?
I have 2 children. I'd like to enroll in a program, and I'd like to see your school.
Oh, we'd love to give you a tour. We'd love to give you a tour. Come on over here, and let's have you just log into our computer. We don't let anybody come into our centers unless we know who's touring our centers. So I'm going to access this computer for you and have you put some data in.
Okay.
And learn a little bit about your children, and then I will be happy to show you around. Now, while you're doing that, I'm going to go get you a parent pack, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm in.
Awesome, thank you. So here's your parent information, and let me get some information about your children. Their names?
Their names are Bill.
Okay, and how old is Bill?
Bill is 18 months.
Oh, wonderful. That's a handful at home, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and your other child?
Jack.
Jack.
And Jack is 4.
4, wow. 2 guys at home, keeping you very, very busy.
Yes.
Well, I would love to show you the whole center. We'll spend a lot of time in both the 18-month-old classroom and the 4-year-old classroom, but I'd like you to see the whole facility.
That's wonderful.
Well, let's start here in the lobby. You noticed when you walked into our building that you had to use a controlled access.
Yes.
Our parents who are registered here have a code, and they punch the code in so they can come in. But anyone that we don't recognize will have to dial in, and we'll find out what their business is, and then we will beep them in if it's appropriate to beep them in.
Oh, that's a nice feature.
It's a very nice feature for our centers. The other security feature we have is right behind you. It's our closed circuit cameras in each of the classrooms. Now that's an important feature for Legacy Academy in that we can freeze frame on any individual classroom and observe teachers interacting with children, or we can have it scanning back and forth so we can monitor the whole building, or if a parent comes in and they want to check on their child, but they don't really want to disturb them, we can freeze frame on that classroom and the parent can stay here all day and kind of be a fly on the wall.
How nice.
So that's a really great feature for our parents who really want to know how their child is doing during the day, but they don't really want to go into the classroom and interrupt their child.
Oh, that is a nice feature.
It's a great feature for us. You were asking about internet access.
Yes, is this internet access?
Absolutely not. And that's also a huge security feature for Legacy Academy. Anytime you stream video over the internet, it can be manipulated by anyone. And so we would never want to have your child on an internet access where someone could freeze the frame and manipulate the picture. Other things in our lobby I want to draw your attention to. We have a TLC room for children, and you know, especially with young ones, an 18-month-old, that runny noses, and now we're getting to wintertime season, that children do get sick. So when a child becomes ill in our program, we protect your child and all the other children from those germs. So children who have 101-degree fever or above and an additional symptom are removed from the classroom and brought to the TLC room.
Wow.
Isn't it adorable?
It is very, very cute.
So we have one-on-one supervision here with the child until the parents can come and pick the child up. And we do ask our parents to make arrangements for when their child is ill so that we don't have their child left here for a very long time with an individual teacher. So, but at least when they're here, the parent knows until I can clear my desk and get to school, my child is being taken care of.
That's nice.
How about if we start over with the infant room?
Wonderful.
Okay. Isn't this great? Hi, everybody. This is our infant program, and we're so proud of our infant program. I'm going to ask that we stay on the tile. Our parents come in and put booties on to interact with their children so that the outside germs don't get on our carpet. So if we'll just kind of hang right here. Also, if we were going to interact with the children at all or get involved with the toys, I'd ask you to go ahead and wash your hands. But I think as long as we stay back here, we'll be okay as long as we're away from the children and not in their faces. But I like to start parents off here because it sets the tone for our program. In the infant room, our job is to build trust with young children. It is the #1 goal of every infant teacher to make sure that these little ones trust them, that when they cry or when they're cranky or when they're cooing, that a teacher's going to respond to them immediately. So that's the #1 goal here in this program. Our parents bring the diapers and they bring their own food so the children are getting the individual materials they need as far as nutrition and things for their health. We are very happy to offer our parents blankets and sheets, and we do the laundry here once a day in the infant classroom. And our children each have individual cribs, and on their cribs you'll see their name and their symbol. And that's something you're going to see as we go throughout the program, this idea of a symbol. Each one of your children will be given a symbol. They'll choose a symbol. It will carry on with them from the beginning of the program to the end of the program. And it's their way of identifying, this is my stuff. This is my cubby. This is my crib. I don't have to recognize my name yet to know these are my things. So it helps them begin to learn the idea of what belongs to me. And then pretty quickly, they'll always see their name under it, and they'll wonder, what does the symbol have to do with my name? And they start making the connection for language and literacy. We do follow not only the state ratios, that's 1 in 6 in the state of Georgia for the infant room, but actually all of our Legacy Academies follow the National Association for the Education of Young Children ratios. And in this classroom, that would be 1 in 4. So that's why you see 3 teachers in the classroom. So a 1 in 4 ratio to make sure that our babies receive individual care all the time. Thank you guys for letting me stop by your room.
Bye, thank you.
Well, so this classroom is for children who are not mobile yet. So they might be crawling a little bit, but they're not walking over each other. This next classroom is where we start to walk. It's called Infant Nursery B. So we won't go in there because you see they're getting ready to come up from nap. But in this classroom, these are children who are starting to become mobile, and we're really working with these children on sensory motor activities. We're really building their gross motor skills, and as you see, some of them are doing some finger painting right now. We're really helping them explore all of their senses and learning how to play in an early care and education environment. So really, starting here, children learn what does it mean to play, and we have so many toys and equipment for them. So we'll just pass by that room and go to the next room, which is where your little one would be.
Yes.
So now we're going to head down to the classroom where Bill would be. But first, let's take a pause here and check out our kitchen. We're very proud of the food service that we have at Legacy Academy. For every one of our schools, we have a full-time cook, and the full-time cook oversees the USDA requirements for our food service program. Every Legacy Academy serves 3 different mealtime opportunities. The first one is called a super snack. It's a breakfast type of snack, waffles or rolled up pancakes, so it's breakfast food, but it's a snack kind of serving. And then a lunchtime, and then a meal with vegetables and fruit and a main course entree. And then in the afternoon, a nice healthy afternoon snack just to keep their energy up. So typically fruit and possibly cheese and crackers and juice or milk. You'll see that all the children have individual serving bowls in the kitchen, and that's because in our program we offer family-style dining. Oh, wow. And when we go into the cafeteria, I'd love to show you how we do family-style dining, but we're very proud of our food. It's healthy food, it's approved by the USDA, and the children love to eat here. They love to eat here. Let's go down to the 18-month-old room. So this is our junior toddler room. Isn't it beautiful?
It is.
The children in this classroom are 18 to 24 months. We call them our travelers. And the ratio in this classroom is 1 to 5 for the National Association for the Education of Young Children, NAEYC. It's 1 to 8 for the state of Georgia. We typically maintain a 1 to 5 ratio during the majority part of the day, 1 to 8 only in the early morning and late afternoon. The things that they have to have accomplished before they move into this room, they're weaned from sippy cups once they move into this room, and they no longer need a crib. So once they hit those milestones of being able to drink on their own and eat on their own and be able to be safely on a mat, a cot, then we move them into this classroom. So you'll look around and see what a beautiful space this is for young children. Our 2-year-olds are learning they can trust and be here. They've been through the Legacy program. They know they can trust, but now they want to know I can do it all myself. So we really focus on that skill. In this classroom, you see everything is child level. All of their toys are on open shelves where they can pull out their toys and play on their own, and also engage in putting things back to get back where they belong. So they really have an opportunity to manage all of their activities on their own in an I can do it myself type of spirit. You'll notice that they all have their very own little cots. They have their names on them and their own sheets. And we do the washing here, and each child has an individual cot that no one else shares with that child. So it's very, very safe and healthy for them. We don't force our children to sleep, so you see this little one who's peeking over at us, and that's okay. Once we leave, he'll probably feel safe enough to go down to sleep. Our policy is that we ask the children to rest for a minimum of an hour. Sometimes that means the teacher has to sit with them and rub their back, and sometimes it means we need to bring a book and read to them. Whatever makes them comfortable. After they've really tried to rest, even if they haven't gone to sleep at all, We then let them come up to a table and do tabletop toys. Again, our policy at Legacy is not to force children into doing things that are outside their nature. So we encourage them to rest. We certainly wear them out during the morning with outdoor play and arts and crafts and our extracurricular activities. But again, we really focus on each individual child. Now, some things I want to point out to you are daily report cards. Our parents want to know what happened during the day. Have you ever been in a car, you're driving home, and you say, "What'd you do today?" and your child looks at you like,
Nothing.
nothing. And you know you're paying for something. So your daily report card comes home, and it talks to you about your child's eating habits. It talks a little bit about the sleeping habits, and it talks about diaper changing. In this notes section, we'll tell you we did an art activity, or perhaps we had a special visitor come into the classroom and read. Perhaps your child used a new word today. So those kind of things would happen on your toddler report card. So you have written feedback from your teacher every single day at the Legacy Academy School.
That's nice.
It's very, very nice. The other feature I want to tell you about is our potty area. This is the classroom where it all begins. Children start to become interested in going potty. So we have a special potty room for the children.
That is darling.
Isn't that cute? It's their size. It's a room where I don't have to be intimidated because it's not this big porcelain structure. This is my size and I can be safe here. And there are two, because what we know about children is they want to watch and they want to see what are you doing, and that's how they learn. And so we're not afraid of that here. And we have a window here so we can make sure that we can supervise, although our policy is to keep the door open when there are children using the potty. And at this age, a teacher is right here supervising.
Wow.
Now, you'll only see one teacher in here during nap time, and that's because when the children are asleep, one teacher goes on break, and then she'll come back, and then this teacher will go on break. Let's say 2 or 3 children started waking up. She would call our front desk, and another teacher would come down and support her. Another feature of a Legacy Academy is that we always have extra staff on hand to support teachers who need support. That's a key feature of our program. Another key feature, that telephone. And you might think, oh, what's so big about a telephone? That means that when you call to check on your child, the person at the front desk isn't telling you what's going on. The teacher in this classroom can be telling you.
Wow.
So you don't have to say, well, are you back there with him? How do you know he stopped crying? How do you know what he's doing? They could literally patch you back to the classroom. 2 things you need to know, though. There are many times when you'll call and the teachers aren't available to answer the phone. Their priority is always the children. So don't be offended if you get rerouted to the front desk and the front desk person says, "I'm so sorry, the teacher can't talk with you right now. Can I take a message or have her call you back?" Again, the priority has to be the children.
Does this phone call out?
Oh, good question. No, we can call to the front desk and get help, but we can't call out and talk to our friends. So this is not used for social features for the teachers. But absolutely, if they need help, they can get to the front desk, they can get to the director, they can get upstairs to the owner of our school. So it's a nice little safety feature for them. We can also dial 911 from any of our classrooms for safety. Our policy is when we have an emergency to notify the front desk notifies the emergency crew, and the teachers in the classroom deal with the emergency. Typically one teacher will deal with the emergency and the other teacher will remove the children from the room. Just so you know, it doesn't happen very often. But this is a child care program where children do take tumble here and there. So we plan for it and then hope it never happens. Some other features I want to share with you, individualized spaces for children to have their things. And you see we have cubbies over here that are child level so children can grab their things and put their things away. Also, you'll notice the Learning Center signs. And a lot of people think, well, what can you really be teaching an 18-month-old? Well, at this age, their brains are sponges. And we know that by repetition and hands-on interaction with children, we can really support their brain development. So the children rotate freely through learning centers. The teacher's job is to make sure this learning center is so attractive and the materials are so bright and engaging that children want to go play in sand and water. And then when they're bored here, they can look over and say, oh, I want to play with those puppets. I want to be there. So room arrangement and the way in which we display all of our materials is very critical because we want children to walk into this classroom and say, I want to be here and learn about all the materials here. That's critical for us. So all of our classrooms will be set up in center-based play where children rotate freely and the teacher's job is to follow the child, and as they engage in the activity, they're going to expand the knowledge in that activity. So if I see a child working in the sand and water table, I'll walk up to them and I'll say, oh, you're pouring. Are you pouring sand? I'll give them vocabulary. I'll talk about math. How many scoops of sand? So my job is to follow the lead of your child, an individualized approach to education. So you ready to go see the rest of the center?
I certainly am.
Great. Let's go out the store. Okay, so we're going to head on to the toddler playground. Now you'll notice that there are locks on the gates. That way the children can't get from one playground to another without a teacher accompanying them. So I will unlock this gate. We'll come on through. Okay, so here's our toddler structure. Wow. Isn't this great?
This is how one about.
I know, it's great. So all the Legacy Academies have resilient surface for the children. Yeah. So not only do we have this wonderful surface that you're standing on, but under it is sand and additional surface. All of our playgrounds are designed for the age group that is playing on the playground. So only toddlers are on this playground, no other child. We won't have school agers here, and your child will not be on the school agers playground. Okay. So they are designed for your child's height and weight and the kind of things that your child would like to do, like slide and crawl and climb and swing. So we love our playgrounds, and you'll notice that we also have a shade structure, so we can hang these swings up higher and we can have a little picnic under there. We also have a beautiful patio that I'll show you around the other side. So let's go look at our patio.
Okay, thank you.
So here's our beautiful patio, and all of our
wonderful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yes.
All of the Legacy schools have these beautiful shade patios with our ceiling fans so that children can be outside even in inclement weather. You'll see that children have already been out here doing some artwork. Typically children will come out and have snack. You see the riding toys, so our children do ride riding toys out here. We have tricycles also, and our children, as you can see, we have a bike helmet that's been left out. Our children do wear bike helmets when they're on the tricycles for safety. So this is just another learning environment for the children that allows them to be in the shade, protected from the weather, but have exposure to the great outdoors. So we really do love our patios, and we use them every single day. So I'll tell you what, let's walk through the school age classroom and talk a little bit about school age, and then let's go see the 4-year-old classroom.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, so here we are at the school age classroom. And I know that you don't have a school ager quite yet, but it will not be long before your son Jack will be entering into kindergarten. You'll be looking for an after-school program. And we offer before and after-school programs at Legacies. We have a beautiful school bus that you probably saw when you pulled into our parking lot. And we have a CDL driver who drives that bus. And we pick up from 2 or 3 different elementary schools, so you'll check with us as you enroll your child about space at that elementary school and how we can pick your child up. And they come here and they have a wonderful snack and this beautiful club-like environment to play in. So this is our after-school program. You'll notice that we have a computer for the children to be on, and we load our computer only with educational games. So you'll see games there that support math proficiency as well as language and literacy proficiency. Children are allowed to access the computer without adult supervision because they don't have direct access to the internet. It's only what we've loaded on. In this classroom, again, you see lots of open-ended materials for the children to engage in. The idea is to give them a safe place to be after school where they can explore their own interests, not the teacher's interests, and also, of course, get support with homework. A lot of people really are concerned about children's homework after school, and so we offer tutoring and support with homework in the after-school program. So we're going to walk through the cafeteria and watch some children having some food, and then I'll take you to the 4-year-old classroom, okay? Hi, y'all. How are you doing? Good. I'm glad to see you guys. How was lunch today? Good. Is it wonderful? And you're having rice and chicken? Is that right? So this is family-style dining at Legacy Academy. As you'll see, our teachers sit with our children, and the children have their own serving bowls, and they help themselves. They're learning lots of things like fine motor coordination as they pour their own milk and serve their own food, but also learning just how to be independent with food service. Now, a lot of our parents have asked me on tours whether or not it's okay if they bring in some supplements, especially parents who have picky eaters at home. The answer to that is no. We don't allow outside food in. So there are many reasons for that. The obvious reason is allergies. If you have your child bring in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and the child sitting next to them is allergic to peanuts, then we have a problem. But the other issue is that we have a policy of not saying no when food is involved. When children want extra food, they're going to serve themselves extra food. They're going to eat until their hunger is gone. And if your child brings in a snack from home and the other children want it, then we're forced to say no. And we really watch ourselves around food and food behaviors. And the answer is yes, you can eat all the healthy food you would like at Legacy Academy. So we're going to go and see your classroom, okay, everybody? This is actually the age group of Jack, your little one. So this is the group of children that he would be with. You see, it's a very well-behaved group of children. So let's head into the classroom, okay? Watch your head as we go through the jungle, okay? So here we are in the 3-year-old classroom. Why don't you stand over here so we can kind of take a look at this information board. When you walk into each of our classrooms, you'll see an information board. You'll see our daily schedule, which we follow the routine of the daily schedule, but we don't get too frustrated if our children are enjoying art and we're going to go over an art and then move into center-based play. So the times are guides for us.
Okay.
Again, really following the lead of the children. But you'll also see our lesson plans that you can look and see kind of what's coming up for the week, what our theme is, what books we're reading, what art activities we're doing, and of course our evacuation plan. We evacuate our children monthly. So we pretend like we're having a fire drill. We actually pull the alarm. They hear the noise. Sometimes we do it as a random drill where the teachers don't know what's coming, and sometimes it's planned. But we evacuate every single month because our job is to get your child out of this building safely and make sure that we're working with the fire department so that when we have a possible emergency, we know exactly what we're doing. So that emergency evacuation plan is posted right there also. Also, when you come into a classroom, you're going to see things for record-keeping purposes for our teachers. This is an incident report form, and if a child has an accident here at the center, we fill out an incident report form that lets you know this is what happened. Your child was so excited to get outside that they tripped over a piece of furniture. And if it's an accident that possibly needs some medical attention, we'll send you an email via our email system. So when you come in to check in, you'll have a sign on our computer that says, hey, check with us about an incident today.
Okay.
If it's something that has some blood involved, we'll call you at work. We won't hesitate to call you and let you make a judgment about whether you want your child to receive medical care or not. So I want to show you some other things we do for record keeping. We have daily attendance in all of our classrooms, and when you enter the center, you're going to log your child in on the computer so that we know your child is here, and you'll log them out also. But regardless of what happens on the computer, we also keep everything in paper for the classroom because these teachers need to understand who's here at any given time of the day. I also want to draw your attention to this piece of paper. This is a letter from our Spanish teacher. And at Legacy Academy Schools, as part of your tuition and fees, your child receives 2 extracurricular programs for free. That is a Spanish program, a Spanish teacher that comes into the classroom, and a music program where a music teacher comes in. So that comes along with your tuition. So the children are exposed to Spanish and music. And those teachers will also send you information about what they're learning during the school week so that you can follow up with your child. You'll probably be very interested in this also. This is our anecdotal note record form. Our teachers are trained to really understand and observe the developmental milestones of the children that are in their care. As we watch children meet different milestones, we record them in books called anecdotal notebooks. So for any given child, teachers will observe the child in play and make some notations about what they're observing as far as their growth and development. So as a parent, you can kind of come over and maybe just take a peek at your child's notes, and you'll be able to see, oh wow, they're identifying 4 or 5 colors, or look, they're building blocks at 10 and 12 blocks high, and kind of give you a nice snapshot. What do we do with these? When I have about 2 or 3 weeks worth of notes, then we put them in another file folder, your child's portfolio, and we make assessments about them. So we read through the anecdotal notes and we say, what does this mean for this child? And we make some generalizations. This child is really doing wonderfully with colors and numbers. We really want to encourage them through open-ended questionings to continue to count and recognize colors. So that way the teachers can continually plan to support your child's individual growth. Great. Well, I'm going to take you to the 4-year-old classroom next, okay? Great. So before we head into the 4-year-old classroom, I want to draw attention to our curriculum here at Legacy Academy. Legacy Academy has our very own curriculum that was developed for us. It's based on the high scope approach for learning, which is a well-researched approach to helping children learn how to independently play and learn on their own. And this is a board in our center that describes our curriculum called Framework for the Future, a great name that really stands behind what we do at a Legacy Academy. At Legacy Academy, our job is to help each individual child meet their potential. We offer a framework for their future. So you can look through here and see that we have key experiences. You might think of them as learning objectives for not only our infant toddler classrooms, but for our preschool classrooms. And those key experiences help us plan activities that support cognitive development, social development, emotional development, and physical development for each of our children. Again, supporting the fact that they need to reach their potential in all 4 areas of development. We also offer character building activities each day because we really do believe in a values-based program. And brain power activities, since brain development is going on so rapidly in children birth to about age 6, we learn more at that part of our lives than any other time in our lives. So we offer some activities that really help the child's brain kick into gear. We have a very big policy of partnering with parents, so our curriculum includes how do you get the parents involved in activities at the center, and then of course we have outcome-based learning assessments. So 3 times a year you'll join us for a parent-teacher conference, and we will talk about the key experience we've introduced to your child and how they're doing with that. We're not talking about what they can't do. We're going to really focus on what they can do and what they can do with our support. Again, our environment is based on your child succeeding, not on your child going home feeling frustrated. So, let's walk into the classroom. Okay, here we finally are. Why don't we come over here?
Wow.
A beautiful, beautiful classroom, isn't it?
Yes.
Very spacious for our 4-year-olds as we support and prepare them to be successful in kindergarten. So you'll see learning center signs throughout the classroom. Again, we move our children through learning centers. That's how they build their cognitive development skills, their social skills, emotional skills, and physical skills at their own pace. The teacher's job is to follow them throughout their day and help engage them in the activities they're choosing to do and learn from those activities. So now that we're in your child Jack's possible room, what questions do you have for me?
I was wondering what you all do for discipline problems.
Discipline problems. Well, at Legacy Academy, we believe the word discipline means to teach, and we take that very seriously. So our job is to observe behaviors, and when we see inappropriate behaviors, which we will see, is to redirect and support your child in learning what would be the more appropriate choice. So when children act out, we call it making bad choices. And when they make bad choices, instead of ostracizing your child or moving them aside, we talk with them and we say, hey, what would be a better way for you to do this? What would be better than hitting your friend? If you really need my help, what would be better than you yelling across the room at me? So with 4-year-olds, discipline is a lot easier because we can communicate. But again, with your younger one, Bill, a little bit different because that's a biting age, a grabbing age.
Right.
So discipline in teaching children means we have to be proactive. We have to be closely watching the children so that when they are about to do a behavior that we don't want them to do, like biting, we can distract them or redirect them. So teacher supervision and that low teacher-child ratio is critically important for a successful discipline policy. So distraction, redirection, positive reinforcement, and communicating with your child. Those are the strategies we use, and we find they work beautifully for children. What other questions?
I was wondering what the children do in the outside area.
In the outside area, most of our outside playtime is child-directed, so they make a choice of what they would like to do. So they could either be playing on the structures or in our gorgeous water play area. In the summertime, we have a water play area I can show you. They could be kicking balls, playing baseball. They could be engaging in tricycle riding with their friends. Every once in a while, the teachers will do a teacher-directed activity. So they'll be really focusing on one specific area of development and get the children involved in a group activity. So free play balanced by teacher-directed activities. That's how we engage our children in the outdoor play area.
Do they like to go outside all the time? Is it necessary for them to be outside?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Our children go out twice a day. Our younger children for a total of an hour a day, a half hour in the morning, half hour in the afternoon, and for our older children, an hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
So 45 minutes and 45 minutes. Now, that might vary based on inclement weather, or if the children are really enjoying it, we might keep them outside even longer so that they can have maybe their lunch brought outside for a picnic. That depends, but on a regular day, we go outside twice a day. So Please make sure you bring in a warm coat during the winter and make sure they're dressed appropriately during the summer, because our children go outside and it's important for them to have physical activity every day.
My child has asthma. Are you all aware of the health codes and the hazardous days that the weatherman reports to us?
Absolutely. Smog alert days.
Yes.
And we don't go outside when the health department has said that it's a smog alert day.
Okay, good.
And every area has different color codes, and we know which color codes indicate that we need to keep our children in. But thanks for bringing up the fact that your child has some special needs. We do support all types of children with special needs at Legacy Academy schools. Your child will be no different. You're going to fill out a medical report form for us, explaining everything you can about your child's allergy symptoms, how we would tell if a reaction is coming on, when they might need to use their nebulizer, when we should call you if they've used their nebulizer twice in one day, and we ask that you update that form once a week. I know that sounds like a lot, but we want to make sure that we stay on top of this, and we would hate for it to go 4, 5, 6 weeks,
Okay, good.
and then we need the medicine and we don't have an updated form. So about every 2 weeks you'll fill out a new form and we'll give your child medication.
I can do that.
Okay, great, great. I want to tell you a little bit about the curricular day for the preschoolers. We do a plan, do, and review process. The children spend a morning circle time planning. What am I going to do today? What am I going to learn? Teachers interact with them about the activities set up in the classroom. Then they go and do the work. They go and do what they've planned. In the afternoon, we review everything we've done. So the children have a process in their mind of, I'm coming to school to do something, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to reflect on what I've done and what I've learned. So that's one way we move throughout the day. The second way is through small group activities, where teachers work with small groups of children on a specific cognitive, physical, social, emotional goal. So one teacher, maybe 4 or 5 children going through a specific learning objective that we have for the day. And that's kind of how we always work our days, a balance between center-based play, plan, do, and review, large group circle times, and small group individual education times. And the children learn through play. They learn through meaningful experiences, hands-on interaction, and the teachers are there to guide them and help them increase and develop their milestones one at a time. Any other questions?
No, you've answered all of them.
Great.
Thank you.
I'd like to show you the playground for the 4-year-olds and our water structure.
Oh,
okay. Let's head outside. Here we go.
Wow.
Isn't this beautiful?
This is wonderful.
We absolutely believe at our schools that having enough space for the children to run around and play is very important. As you probably know, having a healthy body means that you're going to have a healthy mind. So encouraging the children to run and play on our structures in a very safe environment, again with equipment that is designed for their age group, is really important. And of course I mentioned to you our water feature, and on hot days we use sunscreen and we come out and we get in the water and we play in the water and cool off. So we don't let the hot weather keep us down here at our schools. Well, it was so nice touring with you today, and I have just a couple more things I want to make sure I point out to you. As you recall, I talked to you about our computerized check-in and check-out system. Here's actually the computer where you would do that. You just touch in your code, and that allows us to know that your child is here and when your child has left during the day. Also, I think I mentioned to you that your teachers and the administrators can send emails to you via this system. I hope you noticed how wonderful our staff was as you were touring and watching them interacting with the children. Yes. We're very proud of our staff, and we're very proud of their continuing education and professional development. We offer professional development for our staff ongoing at our corporate office in Sugar Hill, Georgia. About monthly, teachers can come there and learn about child development or guidance and discipline issues. We also offer training here at the center pretty regularly, almost monthly, and then we also offer opportunities for our staff to travel to different training opportunities. So we're really, really quite proud of our staff members and their education levels and their ongoing professional development. So, any questions?
No, I think you've answered them all.
Okay, well, you'll notice that we have pre-printed your enrollment application for you. We want to make sure that we have Jack and Bill's name correct.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, very good. If you would like to read over this and make sure we have all your information correct, then I can go ahead and take a deposit from you today, and we can make sure that we reserve Jack and Bill's spot in their classrooms, and then we can talk about an exact start date. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful. I'd like to do
Great.
that.
Well, let's step in my office and do that then.
Great.
Thank you.